Your favourite chocolate bar probably contains palm oil. The commodity is super cheap and easy to grow and has been talked up as a way of getting rural communities in Southeast Asia out of poverty. So even though it was barely in anything until the 1990s, today it's in about 50% of all packaged goods on supermarket shelves. That means you've probably used it today. You might even be eating it right now. You've likely heard that the palm oil industry has been linked to the destruction of rainforest around the world. But how do you know if the products you use contribute to deforestation? And is it possible to trace the palm oil in your chocolate bar back to where it was grown? We tried to find out. More than 85% of the world's palm oil comes from Malaysia and Indonesia, where the industry is booming. A recent study found that Indonesia lost over 23,000 square miles of primary forest between 2000 and 2012. That's more than double the size of Belgium. Orangutans have been hit hard by the growth of the industry, which has decimated their natural habitats. Researchers found that the population of orangutans on the island of Borneo dropped by 100,000 since 1999. It's also had a major impact on the global climate. Slash and burn techniques to clear forests for palm oil plantations were partly blamed for causing dramatic forest fires that blanketed much of Southeast Asia in a thick, yellow haze of air pollution in 2015. Researchers found that the carbon dioxide produced by the fires was on a par with Brazil's total emissions for that same year. Now, palm oil can be made without causing deforestation, but the problem is that the industry's supply chain is super complicated. The easiest way to explain the palm oil supply chain is to break it down into 4 parts. 1. Plantations, where the oil palm fruit is grown. 2. Mills, where the oil is squeezed out of the fruit. 3. Refineries, where all that squeezed out oil is cleaned up. And 4. Manufacturers, where all of that cleaned up oil is put into your shampoo, toothpaste or chocolate bar. Major brands get their palm oil from a handful of commodities traders. These traders buy from mills. That's step 2. Who in turn get their fruit from plantations, step 1. Now, even if you know where the fruit going into a mill was grown, that doesn't necessarily mean that the company growing the fruit isn't chopping down rainforest for a new plantation somewhere else. That means the palm oil in your chocolate bar may have come from companies causing deforestation. We asked some of the world's biggest chocolate manufacturers where the palm oil in their products comes from. Mondelez, which owns Cadbury's, told us it lists its suppliers on its website, and it requires them to track and eliminate deforestation. Mondelez said that in 2016, 96% of its suppliers had traceability all the way back to the mill. Nestle also got in touch to tell us that its palm oil supply chain is now traced as 58% free of deforestation. Unfortunately, Mars didn't get back to us in time for this video. On its website, the company says it is committed to sourcing all of the palm oil it uses back to known mills. If you're watching this video, you know that palm oil has received a lot of negative attention in recent years, so maybe it's no surprise to see companies making moves to improve traceability. Now, large manufacturers can trace the palm oil they use back to mills and even sometimes plantations. But that doesn't mean they know what the companies that own the mills and plantations are doing elsewhere. And that matters, because the palm oil industry is expected to massively expand in the coming years, putting further pressure on Southeast Asia's already beleaguered rainforests. For more stuff like this, subscribe to our channel. This video is part of a new series we're working on to try and unpack some of the trickier issues we cover. So what should we do next? Let us know in the comments.